Good morning, sir. Can you stop right here? Raise your right hand to the clerk, please.
Good morning. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony in the evidence you shall give to the court and in the jury, in the matter now pending between the Commonwealth and the defendant of the bar, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You may have a seat, sir.
All right, good morning, sir. I'm going to ask you to speak into that microphone. You can be seated if you'd like, if you're more comfortable. Okay? All right, come up, please.
Your Honor. Good morning. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Yeah, my name's Patrick Clancy. It's Patrickclancy.
And what is your date of birth?
June 15th, 1988.
What city do you live in now?
New York.
And what do you do for a living?
I work in tech.
How long have you worked in tech?
14 years.
And were you previously married to a person named Lindsay Clancy?
Yes.
And you're divorced now, is that correct?
Correct.
Do you see that person in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you point to them and describe something they're wearing?
It's not necessary.
She's wearing a pink shirt.
Record will reflect the identification of the defendant.
Thank you. Where did you meet the defendant?
In South Boston.
And when was that?
I think it was May 2013.
And how did you meet her?
Through my cousin.
And would it be accurate to state that your cousin had been college roommates of the defendant?
Yes.
And at some point in time, did you start dating?
Yes.
And around what time was that?
July 2013.
Did you eventually move in together?
Yes.
Do you remember when that was?
September 2015.
And where did you live?
In Quincy.
How long did you live in Quincy?
1 year.
And where did you go after that?
We bought a house in Weymouth.
And how long did you live in Weymouth?
2 years.
Did you eventually get married?
Yes.
And when was that?
December 2016.
And was that while you were living in Weymouth?
Yes.
Did you have your first child when you were living in Weymouth?
Yes.
And what was her name?
Cora.
And what was her date of birth?
December 24th, 2017.
Prior to getting married, did the defendant ever tell you she had taken psychiatric medication while in nursing school?
Not that I recall.
After having Cora, did the three of you move somewhere else?
Yeah, we moved to Duxbury.
And what was your address in Duxbury?
47 Summer Street.
And do you recall when you moved there?
I believe it was July 2018.
And where were you working at that time?
I was working for a startup called Automation Anywhere.
At some point in time, did you start working for Microsoft?
Yes.
And when was that?
May 2020.
And when you worked for Microsoft, did you go to an office or did you work from home?
I work from home.
And was that from 2020 onward that you worked from home?
No, I started working from home in 2018.
2018, okay. So from 2018 up until, let's say, 2023, you were working from home, is that correct?
Yes.
And did you have an office in your home which you worked out of?
Eventually, yeah.
And where was that located?
In the basement.
And was that a finished basement?
Yes.
Going back to after Cora was born, do you recall the defendant having any physical issues after the birth?
Yeah.
And what were those?
I think there was a lot of tearing, and she bled a lot.
Did it take her a while to recover physically?
I would say so, yeah.
Did she have maternity leave at that time?
Yes.
Where was she working?
Mass General Hospital.
And what was she doing there?
She's a labor and delivery nurse.
At that point in time, when she had Cora in 2017, how long had she been a nurse?
3 years maybe.
And do you recall how long her maternity leave was with Cora?
That was the shortest of the 3. I want to say it was 10 or 11 weeks.
And did you have paternity leave at that time?
Yeah, I had 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay. When you went back after the 2 weeks back to work in the home, were there any issues that you noticed the defendant having?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to correct an earlier statement. I was working for Pegasystems when Cora was born.
Okay. And then eventually you worked for Microsoft?
Yeah.
Okay. And so after the 2 weeks of your paternity leave, the defendant was still on maternity leave, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And did she have to take any psychiatric medications at that time?
Not that I know of. She had a lot of anxiety, but
Okay. So you're saying that she had some anxiety at that time. Is that correct?
yeah.
How did that manifest, or how did you know that?
She just really struggled with the date of going back to work.
So immediately after having Cora, as she healed physically, what was her mood like when you're both on leave?
It was great. It was good.
Good. Okay.
I mean, relatively, yeah.
And so did the anxiety start as it became closer in time to when she had to go back to work?
Yes.
How many shifts was she working at that time?
Before Cora was born, she was working at least 40 hours, maybe more. After she went back to work, it was, I think, initially just one.
One shift?
Yeah.
And was that a 12-hour shift?
It was per diem,
Per diem.
and then she eventually did 2 shifts.
Okay.
I think it was 20 weeks.
After 20 weeks, she moved to 2 shifts?
I'm sorry, it was 20 hours a week.
20 hours a week, okay. And so from the time she worked her way back up to 20 hours a week at work until she had your next child, did it remain that 20 hours per week that she worked?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. And did you have any assistance in the home during that time after she went back to work? A nanny or a babysitter?
Yeah, we had babysitters. We had a babysitter who came probably 12 hours a week.
And did that typically happen after your wife had a shift that the nanny or the babysitter would be there?
Yeah, so she could sleep.
Did the defendant work overnights?
Yeah.
And how long did you have that nanny or babysitter for?
Several years.
Do you remember her name?
We called her Miss Jen
Miss Jen? Do you remember her last name?
Shanahan.
And then you had a second child, is that correct?
Yes.
And what was their name?
Dawson.
And what was Dawson's date of birth?
September 30th, 2019.
And was Miss Jen still helping out in the home at that time?
Yeah.
And what was Dawson's delivery like?
Pretty traumatic.
How so?
He was in I think a breech position. So he came out in I guess I don't know much about it, but not an ideal way, and it caused just significant bruising and tearing.
So again, did the defendant with this second pregnancy have some pain and difficulty physically healing from the birth?
Yeah, much more so than Cora.
Okay. And was she on maternity leave at that time?
Yes.
How many weeks leave did she have at that time?
I don't recall, but I think it was more than the traditional 12. I want to say it was 13 or 14, maybe more.
Page 13. If I may approach.
You may.
You don't have to keep telling me the pages, that's okay.
Okay. I could have you look at page 13 and just read to yourselves lines 6 through 10, and then just look up when you're finished. Thank you. Does that refresh your memory as to how much maternity leave the defendant had after Dawson's birth?
Yeah,
And what was it?
18.
18 weeks? Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay. And, after dealing with the physical pain of birth and starting to heal, how was her demeanor and experience during that maternity leave?
I think it was fine at first. It was always when she had to go back to work, that's when she struggled. So,
Okay. So that was a pattern that you saw after
Yeah.
the baby. Maternity leave was good, and then she'd struggle going back to work?
she just had a really hard time being separated from them.
What was the plan for how many shifts she would work or how many hours she would work after Dawson was born?
I believe it was the same thing.
And in terms of Ms. Shanahan, the babysitter, you had mentioned before that she was there about 12 hours a week. Did that stay consistent after Dawson's birth, or was it more or less?
Probably consistent.
After Dawson's birth, did the defendant ever tell you whether she was on any psychiatric medication after Dawson's birth?
No.
Did she seek treatment or tell you she sought treatment after Dawson's birth?
Yeah, she got a therapist for a short period of time, but it didn't last very long.
Did she tell you that at the time or later?
At the time.
Okay. And did she have any psychiatric hospitalizations or commitments at that time?
No.
What about after Cora's birth? Any psychiatric hospitalizations or treatments?
No.
Was there a time after Dawson's birth where she wanted to declutter your garage?
Maybe at some point.
Okay. And did you assist her with that?
Yeah.
And how was that done?
We had a lot of stuff to throw away, and I think we sold some stuff on Facebook Marketplace. We just had a lot of stuff.
So did the two of you go through the items in the garage and organize it into what you would keep, what you would throw away, and what you would sell?
Yes.
Okay. And so it was very organized?
I would say so, yeah.
And you finished the project, is that correct?
It was always ongoing.
Now, eventually you had your third child, correct?
Yeah.
And what was their name?
Callan.
And what was his date of birth?
May 26th, 2022.
Can you describe that delivery for us?
It was great. From what I could tell, it was relatively quick. It was during the day. We were both smiling after, and I don't think there was as much physical trauma.
Nothing compared to what happened with Cora or Dawson, is that correct?
Correct.
Did the defendant have maternity leave after Callan's birth?
Yeah.
And how long was that leave?
She never went back.
How long was it planned for initially?
I want to say 18 weeks.
And were you on paternity leave as well?
Yes.
And how long was your paternity leave?
12 weeks.
So with Callan being born on May 26, 2022, the two of you were home with the children that summer on leave, is that correct?
Yeah.
What was family life like during that time period, those summer months?
It was great. We had a lot of time off. I was able to spend a lot of time with, I spent a lot of time with Cora and Dawson. So I would take them around, the playgrounds and birthday parties and stuff like that.
And what would Lindsay be doing while you were with Cora and Dawson?
Sometimes she'd come with us with Callan, but oftentimes we did kind of like a divide and conquer. So she'd be home with Callan and I'd be out with the older kids.
And what types of family activities did you all do during the summer months?
We went on a couple vacations. We went to the beach. We went out on our boat and went to friends' houses.
During those months when you're going to the beach and out on the boat and visiting with friends, were there any signs of anxiety in the defendant during those months?
I would say starting in September, yes, but in the previous months, not so much.
When had she been scheduled to go back to work?
I don't remember the exact date, but I think it was October.
Okay. So again, it was that pattern of as it became closer in time to go back to work,
Yeah.
she started to struggle?
Yeah.
During the times when she would get anxious, when it was time to go back to work and she would start being anxious, did you ever have any difficulty understanding her when she spoke?
No.
And did she ever exhibit any behavior that made you concerned enough to call a doctor or want to commit her?
No.
When she was showing this anxiety, what were you seeing in her behavior?
Just a lot of stress. There were days where she had all three kids and, there's different nap schedules and different needs. So it was just really stressful.
Okay. And you're still working in the basement office at this point after Callan's born, correct?
I went back to work late August.
Okay. And when you work downstairs, how often would you come upstairs during the day?
All the time for lunch or just to say hi.
Were there times when Lindsay would ask you to hold the baby in the office while she was doing something?
So, yeah.
Okay. And were there times when you would watch one or more of the children while she took another to a doctor's appointment or to an errand or something like that?
Yeah, if it worked out with the schedule, yeah.
Okay. What was the plan in terms of how many shifts or hours she was going to work after Callan?
I believe the plan was 2 shifts per week, but there was a lot of flexibility. She could have done really anything.
Do you recall saying previously that you were going to start off with 1 shift and hopefully move to 2?
I could imagine, yeah.
Okay. And you said there was some options, correct? What were those options if that didn't work out?
Well, I always put money aside in basically our own maternity account, just so that if she needed more flexibility, we planned for that. So
if she needed more time off, more than what her work would provide for her, you were financially secure enough to afford that at this
Yes.
time? During this time, in the fall of 2022, were Cora and Dawson attending preschool?
yes,
And where was that?
Learning Sprouts,
And where is Learning Sprouts located?
Duxbury.
How often were they attending Learning Sprouts?
Full days Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and a half day on Thursday.
And what was a full day? What hours?
I think it was 9 to 4.
9 a.m. to 4 p.m.?
I think so, yeah.
And what was a half day?
Like 9 to 12:30. I think they might have had some days where they started early. I can't remember.
And who would do drop-offs for school?
We both would.
And what about pickups?
Both of us.
Together or take turns?
Usually we would take turns.
Now, at some point in time after Callan was born, did you hire a nanny?
Yes.
And when was that?
I think it was in August or September.
Of 2022?
Yeah.
And who was that nanny?
Lainey. I don't remember her last name.
Does Elaine Rossi sound familiar?
Yeah.
And do you recall how many days per week Elaine was going to work when you hired her?
I think it was 12 hours.
But it wouldn't be 12 hours altogether. It would be spread out over the week. Is that right?
Correct.
And who was she hired to take care of?
Everyone. But mainly it was going to be Callan.
Because Cora and Dawson would be at school?
For the most part, yeah.
And what was the plan for when Elaine would work? Was it that same type of after Lindsay worked shifts or something different?
Yeah, the goal was after Lindsay would work, I mean, she never went back to work, but I think we wanted to get her just like oriented with our house and the kids. So we had her start before, and then she was amazing. She's an amazing caregiver, but eventually we decided to let her go because Lindsay was home anyways. So
So when you